Remember Bakugan?
Let's go!
In the mid-2000s, Cartoon Network was dropping banger after banger with new shows like Beyblade,
Let it rip!
Ben 10,
Did you just eat the baby?
Johnny Test,
Why did you resist a police officer?
Why are you police officers?
I blew up Malaysia.
and of course, one of the greatest cartoons of our generation, Bakugan. But don't take my word for it. Take IMDb's. They were dropping hit after hit after hit. They could have had Helen Keller up there shooting that bitch, and they still wouldn't have missed. I remember sitting in my room waiting for Bakugan to come on, prepping myself to sing along to the greatest theme song ever made.
What are you gonna do? The odds are stacked against you. Back against the wall, gotta give it your...
God, it still gives me chills. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Bakugan Battle Brawlers is obviously most known for its show that premiered on Cartoon Network back in 2008. You know what I'm talking about. The show with the overtly happy and encouraging main character that goes around with his friends trying to become the strongest with his trusty partner right next to him the whole time. Weirdly enough, they decided to release a game in 2009 under the exact same name. I never really understood why they did this, but what do I know? Now, if you've never played this game, I'm just gonna go ahead and apologize in advance. You must have had a miserable childhood. Your idea of fun was probably watching paint dry or some shit. Every time I say that, I just imagine them waking up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night thinking about paint drying. It's the dumbest shit in the world. Anyways, Bakugan Battle Brawlers was developed by a studio known as Now Production and published by Activision. At first, I was kind of surprised to see that Activision was the publisher. I mean, I'm used to them just publishing games that have been copy and pasted year after year, but I guess this was before they started selling out. The developer, on the other hand, Now Production, is a game studio based out of Japan. I was scrolling through other games they've made to try and see if I recognized them from anything else, but in all honesty, I've never heard of just about any of the other games they've made.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Liar, pants on fire.
So, this is while I'm editing and after I've recorded and done all the other shit that goes along with it, but for some reason I decided to look back at their old games, and I definitely have heard of a few of them. They developed Little League World Series 08 and 09, and one of the best GameCube games ever created, Sonic Riders. Yeah, so I have no idea what I was looking at before. Obviously, as a kid, I knew nothing about the developer and publisher. I was still a little jit that would get dragged to his room if I got a bad report card or something. What really captivated me into this game was the fact that it combined both the card element of Yu-Gi-Oh! And the creature collecting aspect of Pokemon, and the fact that the balls that you were throwing out turned into giant creatures that fought each other. Pause. Anyways, my brother was a huge Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan, and I was really into Pokemon, so it was a nice common ground that we both enjoyed. And for any of you saying, oh, nothing like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon,
You are made of stupid.
it took an aspect of each that made them popular and combined it. That's why the comparison is there, so get over it. While playing through the game, majority of the time, you're going to be in some sort of battle with at least one NPC. You find these battles in tournaments, which is actually used as the story of the game, but we'll get into that later, and through the park. Now, what actually makes the battles interesting is the different elements that go into them. Don't get me wrong, compared to things like Elden Ring, Marvel Rivals,
I am getting fucked in the ass by a venom!
other games we have today, this is probably one of the most boring games you can possibly play. I mean, look at the gameplay.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
However, it's still a banger, even if I am a little biased. I mean, my ADHD-ridden self back in 2009 absolutely loved this shit. For starters, when you're battling, there are a few different ways you can go about it. For anyone that knows Bakugan, to start a match, all competitors throw down a gate card. Gate cards essentially just allow your Bakugan to grow stronger by using its effect to increase their power. Hence why battles are usually easier when you fight on your gate card rather than your opponent's, but I digress. What actually makes the game interesting is when you enter the battle. Quick side note, in this instance, I'm talking specifically about the DS version because that's what I played it on, not the console version. When you go into battle, there are 3 different mini-games that you can be faced with. Rub the symbol, time and press the symbol, and trace the symbol. And you can best believe, when I was younger, I was over there rubbing the shit out of my DS to get the dub. On top of battling, there was also another way to collect a gate card known as a double stand. This is simply when 2 of your own Bakugan land on the same card, but only bitches will play like that. A real brawler never back down.
Never back down, never what? Never give up! Let's go!
So essentially, you throw your cards out and battle on them. Whoever has the higher attack power after the minigame wins the fight. Sound familiar? Now, as far as the creature collecting aspect that they borrowed from Pokemon, it's a little different. Instead of going out to capture the creatures against their will, you just buy them and force them to work for you. Way more humane.
Day is never finished. Master got me working.
As a child, this game had it all. I mean, What kid doesn't want to buy new allies and go into battle summoning giant creatures? It was so addictive that I probably put a good 20 hours into it, which might not seem like a lot, but when I recently played it, I beat it in under 4 hours. So I would say that 20 hours is probably a fair amount. Looking back on it, I know I beat the story, did all the optional tournaments afterwards, and bought all the Bakugan, and if memory serves me right, I definitely enjoyed every minute of it. I mean, if I didn't, why else would I make a video on the game?
Éxito.
Obviously.
Outside of the battling, of course, the game also has a story. And if I'm being honest, it's nothing to go crazy about. It's your typical, oh, the enemy is trying to destroy the world and we're the only ones who can stop it. Then again, the game was made for children back in 2009, so at the time, it was probably a good story. Essentially, you just progress through these tournaments where you battle different NPCs. The tournaments usually end with you battling one of the battle brawlers from the show until you face the final villain. This weird emo kid with a mask. One of my favorite parts about the story from back in the day is the fact that they actually give you a unique Bakugan that doesn't exist anywhere but in this game. At least to my knowledge. I didn't watch all 125 episodes to fact check myself on that one. But back in the day, this was so huge for me. Everyone has their moments where they're younger, where they want to be a superhero or an astronaut or whatever the hell else, but I wanted to be a part of the Battle Brawlers, and this actually made it feel like I was. And for any of you bums making fun of me for wanting to be a Battle Brawler as a kid, I don't know, you're probably a weirdo eating mattresses or some shit.
My name is Jennifer, and I'm addicted to eating mattresses.
All in all, Bakugan Battle Brawlers wasn't just a game, it was a core memory. It was one of those games that even if it wasn't groundbreaking, still made us to capture the imagination of every kid who played it. The mix of strategy, collecting, and straight up adrenaline from rubbing the shit out of your DS, pause. Playing it again after all these years, I can admit it's not the most thrilling game by any means, but that doesn't take away from what it meant. It's a time capsule and a reminder of when life was simple, and all that mattered was giving it our all.
What are you gonna do? The odds are stacked against you. Back against the wall, gotta give it your all.
Anyways guys, I know this video was slightly different from what I normally do. It was kind of just a game that I played a little bit ago and I had a script sitting around, so I figured I might as well use it rather than it just rotting away in the fucking nothingness of all my other stuff. So I hope you enjoyed it. If not, I don't really fucking care, but if you did, I'll catch you in the next one, so like and sub.